Hi everyone, Rita Michelle here with Organic Mothering. Today, where I live in Northwest Ohio, we have a potential heat index of up to 109 degrees. So and there are other areas of the country where we're having similar issues with extreme weather conditions. So if that's you, just use common sense, stay out of the heat if you don't need to be in it. Make sure you're hydrating, just stay safe, okay? Everybody stay safe. I make these videos while nobody is home, and I don't know what time my husband's going to be arriving home, so I think I'm just going to talk until then. I'm going to be honest with you, I'm just feeling like a lot of anxiety and just irritation, and I'm tired, I'm not sleeping well, and some of that could have to do with the heat. But things are just blowing up in this country. Like, once again, things are just escalating and everybody's upset, and it's ugly. It's ugly. And so I don't even really know exactly what I want to talk about, because I've been making these #walkaway campaign videos. And social media that's where a lot of this stuff goes down. Like, a lot of the silencing that I've been talking about. This is where a lot of it goes down. And then, people on the left want to deny that it's happening. They want to deny that conservatives, Republicans, Christians, conservative Christians, they want to deny that this is happening. And it is really hard not to get sucked into arguments. So I want to talk about kind of two key concepts I've been thinking about while this stuff is going on in the media. Because Donald Trump tweeted something stupid, like he has often, many times. And then you've got the squad, these 4 freshman congresswomen, all women of color, refusing to denounce the terrorist group Antifa. And, I don't know. I'm not even going to get into the specifics of all that. But I want to talk about the social media. First of all, I just have Facebook. I've got a few videos on YouTube. I don't have Twitter. I technically have Instagram, but I have nothing on it. My daughter, she's a teenager, she wanted to be able to text with me, even when we're right next to each other. She's laying down on the bed next to me, and she's wanting to text me. And that's fine. So I have the Instagram so she can text me in our, while we're both at home, right next to each other, so we can text. All right, I want to read you a dictionary definition, because this relates to how to comport oneself on social media, because people just don't know how. They're not good at it, at any rate. Okay, so self-possession. What does it mean to be self-possessed? Having or showing self-possession. Composed in mind or manner, calm. And what is self-possession? Control of one's emotions or reactions, especially when under stress. Presence of mind, composure. Synonym, see confidence. Okay? Sarah Bronick, in her runaway bestseller, Simple Abundance, had a meditation on a woman of repose. And of course, you could be a man of repose too. But I think that's the same idea, being self-possessed. Having control of yourself, having control of your emotions, not being knee-jerk reactionary. And, the first video I made, I was talking about how I came to the determination that I had to pick a side. That I couldn't just say, well, I'm an independent. Both sides are just parties that I don't want to associate with whatsoever. But then because of the extremism that we're seeing, and because I am an American and I want to retain my rights of freedom of speech, I want to retain my freedom of religion, I want to retain my right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that I'm willing to fight. I'm willing to fight. But people are not self-possessed on social media. Now, I was feeling really despondent about everything yesterday and just really irritated. And then late in the day, I saw that Brandon Straka had pinned a little video that he did, a live stream a few days ago, because he was on Twitter and it was exploding in a good way, he thought, because Donald Trump was retweeting a lot of walk away campaign stuff. He was retweeting like stuff from the Hard Truth videos from Walk Away, and Brandon was just like giddy. He was just like shrieking with excitement. He was just so happy, like a little kid at Christmas getting like the present that was his one heart's desire that year, you know. Like me, seeing baby Chrissy in like early 70s, we'll say that. Me seeing baby Chrissy on TV, and that was the one thing I like really wanted that Christmas. And I walked downstairs, and she's not even like wrapped up. She's just sitting on top of her box. She's the first thing I see when I come down the stairs, and I'm the first one awake. And my birthday's December 29th, so I'm almost 5, and there she is, baby Chrissy. Okay, that's how Brandon Straka was about this. And it just, it lightened my heart, because he is a self-possessed person. He has comported himself so beautifully in the face of so much ugliness, in the face of so much injustice. Like when his LGBT town hall got canceled in one of the cities 24 hours before it was due to go on, and just out of pure censorship. And, people had flown in for it, gotten hotel rooms. People spent a lot of money. Their contracts were signed, and these people just suddenly decided to violate, I think it was called Theater Lit or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, he's a great role model of self-possession. And I want to talk about boundaries. That's the other thing. When you're on your social media, when you're on your page, your wall, that's your personal space. And, you can restrict sometimes, you can restrict to a certain degree who can see your stuff. But if you're wanting to put a message out there and you want people that aren't your Facebook friends to see it, if you want it to, be something anybody can access from the internet, then yeah, you open yourself up. And that's just then you have the consequences. You have the consequences. But you have to be able to set boundaries. If I invite people into my home, like I have a vintage home. Can you see it in the background? I've got these beautiful French doors over here. And I think you can see some of the detailing maybe on the ceiling over here. Okay, I live in a 1908 vintage home. So the first or second year that we lived here, the Vintage Homes group wanted us to be part of a house walk, and have our house open for the public to come in and see. But you had a choice of what rooms that you showed. Like, you could just do your downstairs. You didn't have to show your upstairs. Or you could show part of your upstairs in addition to your downstairs, but close some doors. You didn't have to show every nook and cranny. You didn't have to let people up into your attic or down into your basement. Okay? You're allowed to set boundaries, because it's still your house. Even if you're opening up to the public, this is still your house. So you are allowed to set boundaries. And don't let anybody guilt you into it. You're not censoring anyone. If they're hijacking a thread, like I post something, and then one person has comment after comment after comment, whether this is at my blog, where I do moderate the comments, so they don't get published unless I decide they get published, or whether it's on Facebook, where one person decides that they should get to keep making their point over and over and over again. You let them have half dozen or more, and then if you say, you know what, this is good, it's becoming unproductive, we're beating a dead horse, we're just going around in circles, this isn't contributing, and it's not good manners. It's like if you're sitting in a room of people, you got, say it's a group of girlfriends, there's 4 of you, and 2 of you are doing all the talking back and forth, and the other 2 are just sitting there, kind of bored, like they're not being included. You're not including them in the conversation. You're talking about something maybe that's only relevant to the 2 of you, and you're not including the other 2. It's rude. So, when a public entity, when a major corporation, or people at high levels of government censor, don't allow someone to speak, okay, that's entirely different than when you as a private person in a private space, your personal space, decide to set a boundary and say, like, I don't allow profanity in any of the groups that I'm an admin for a number of groups on Facebook, either that I created or because somebody was asking, could someone please help me? Having a family crisis, I'm going on vacation, whatever, I'm not going to be around for an extended period of time. Could someone please jump in and agree to help me run this group? And I've done that for people. I don't allow profanity. Is that censorship? Or is that saying, here are the group policies, here are the boundaries? If you are at a workplace where sexual harassment is not allowed, and someone says something to sexually harass you, and you go to the boss and file a complaint, and that person gets penalized, did you censor that person's free speech? Because they wanted to call you a bitch or whatever? And you didn't tolerate that, and you set a boundary, and you decided that wasn't appropriate? Of course it can go to, but people have gone to extremes, and that's unfortunate too. That, every little thing someone's got to get up in arms about. So when it is your space, your blog, your web page, your account, your social media account, you don't have to have anything on it that you don't want there. If I comment on somebody's post and they don't like what I said, I have no qualms with them deleting it. If it's my best friend and she doesn't like something I said on her wall, she can go ahead and delete that. And I'm not offended by that. That's her space. She didn't want that there. So, does that mean she doesn't like me? Does that mean she's censoring me? Okay. And I want to say that social media is not real. It's not real. It's not real life. It's not. Most of the news is fake. And the reason it's not real is that the same people whose names are in the little boxes are not the same people that you talk to face to face in real life. They are not saying the same things. I think it's important to be a consistent person. Hey, do you like these earrings? Because it's so hot, and wearing these earrings that have kind of reminds me like a snowflake pattern. And it's got little shiny things. So I'm like, tricking my mind that it is not Hot as an oven outside. Okay. Sometimes we have to just talk about something trivial, right? And just have some kind of fun. Nobody's having fun anymore. Stop not having fun. I've been accused of dictating to people. Okay, so I'm dictating to you right now. Have fun. Go have fun. So set boundaries for yourself. Like how much time you're going to spend on social media. Like a lot of times, say it's a homeschooling group and somebody asks a question. Like, I have a 10-year-old and this is what's going on and they're having trouble with reading and what's your advice? Okay. And by the time I see that post, 40 people have already commented. I don't read all 40 comments. I might read a few, so I'm not being totally redundant to what someone else already said. But like, I think my ideas and my personal experience have enough of a uniqueness that I have something that might be helpful, and I don't have to necessarily read everybody's, and I don't have to go back after that and continue to follow the conversation. Somebody wants help, I have something that I can offer that might be of help, I say it. You know, I don't necessarily I don't even know if people are deleting what I wrote, because I'm not going back constantly to follow every single conversation. Just because I have a notification that somebody commented on my comment, that doesn't mean I read it. Okay, so I'm thinking maybe I'll choose 3 days of the week that I'm going to be on Facebook, and maybe 15 minutes, 3 days a week, so I can manage the groups that I'm responsible for, and I can see if there's anything interesting going on. That's Roxy, she's a puggle. And then that can be it. And that's Milo behind me there, ruining the couch. Yeah, we have to keep it constantly covered because it's all torn up from these two, especially him. He burrows. Okay, so those are my pups. And people probably like this video. You know why? Because there's cute dogs in it. It doesn't matter what I say right now because you can see my cute dogs. Everything is good now, right? Because, yeah. Everybody likes the dogs, babies. So I would say don't get sucked into the whirlwind. Don't be blown about by every wind. Get off the merry-go-round. And limit yourself because it's not the real world. Nobody's going to say the same stuff to your face that they do on social media. They're saying, and when they're trying to put, I'm going to try not to swear. I know I already said that B word. That's not really a swear, though. I'm just so tired. Okay, so decide what your priorities are. Decide what's important to you. Decide why. If you're going to walk away, decide why you're walking away. Focus on getting that message out. And then you've got to let go of the results. Whether somebody likes it or not, beside the point. Who are you doing this for? Right? Who are you doing it for? So if I'm doing this for my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, if I'm trying to get a message out there, a Christian message, a Catholic Christian message, then I've got to be willing to deal with those consequences, but I don't have to accept unacceptable behavior. You can set boundaries and set them for yourself, and set, amount of time that you're willing to spend on this stuff. Because most of it doesn't matter. People who don't have eyes to see and ears to hear, they're not going to get it. And they're just going to argue for the sake of arguing. And they're just going to say the same stuff over and over again. And they're going to hijack your post. And they're going to say things to you. They're going to personally attack you, which they wouldn't do if they saw you in person. Because, this has happened to me over and over again. That's why I posted recently about, being tired of like limp, girly men. These men who just like the memes, people. Can we just stop with the memes? The political memes. I don't mean a meme where you're like quoting a saint or a Bible verse or something. I mean like where it's just to take a stab at somebody. It's just to take a stab at someone or at a group of people in a way that is trite, petty, unintelligent, frankly, pointless. It's supposed to be funny and it's not even. And nobody comes up with their own material. Do something. Come up with your own material. Say something. Say something meaningful. Have a real life. So, I have relatives say stuff that's just like personally attacking and really mean, and then hug me at the family reunion. Well, I'm not going to not hug you because because the right thing to do is to hug you and love you unconditionally. But you're just like full of buffalo chips. And consider the source. I'm going to tell you that you might feel like you're just being persecuted, and then you realize it's like one or two people. It's like the same people. It's like your little brother. Well, of course your little brother's going to pick on you. That's kind of his job. Even if he's, technically an adult, it's your little brother's job to pick on you. Or it's your big brother's job to pick on you. And maybe just consider the source. Who is this person anyway? Does it really matter? You have a higher purpose. Have a higher purpose. Your higher purpose isn't to argue with your little brother or your mom or your cousin or your uncle. Especially if that person's not even your peer. If you're old enough to be their mother and they're acting like they're your peer, there's an inequality there. And you just have to take the high road. Okay. So, be self-possessed. Do not be a screeching banshee. Okay? Don't react. Don't get caught up into all the stuff because it's not the real world, but it's stuff happening in the real world that everybody's upset about. But they're living their life behind a screen. They're passive observers. Wear a hat, maybe, and go out in public and like someone says, how can you have that hat? Tell them why you have that hat. Get a hashtag walkaway t-shirt and go out and wear it. What's hashtag walkaway? Tell people what it is. Make videos that lots of people can reach. Have a blog. I don't know. Whatever. Write a book. Volunteer somewhere that it makes a difference. Go make a difference. So, yeah, that's just rambling today, and dogs, and, sorry about that, but set boundaries. Consider the source. Practice self-possession. And don't let them get you down. Don't let them do the very thing that you're fighting against. Don't let them censor you with intimidation. Don't let them hammer you down, insisting that, you have to let them have a free-for-all. You're not a punching bag. Do I look like a punching bag to you? Snowflake earrings? I don't think so. All right, Godspeed, my dears. Peace, my doves. And see you next time.